The South China Sea, a vast expanse of water studded with islands, reefs, and shoals, is not just a picturesque maritime landscape. It is a region of immense strategic importance, drawing the attention of global powers and regional players alike. This body of water has become a focal point of geopolitical rivalry, where the interests of many nations converge and often clash. Its strategic importance is undeniable. The South China Sea is a major shipping route, facilitating the movement of goods and commodities between continents. It is a vital source of fish stocks, providing sustenance and economic benefits to millions of people. Additionally, it is believed to hold significant reserves of oil and natural gas, resources that are crucial for the energy security and economic growth of the surrounding nations. Control over this maritime domain translates into economic and military power, making it a highly contested region. Nations with stakes in the South China Sea are keenly aware that dominance here can shift the balance of power in their favor. The South China Sea serves as a conduit for trillions of dollars in global trade annually. The uninterrupted flow of maritime traffic through these waters is essential for the global economy, linking markets and supply chains across the world. Beneath its waters lie energy resources that are vital for the economic growth of regional powers. The potential for oil and gas extraction has only heightened the stakes, as countries vie for access to these valuable reserves. This confluence of factors has turned the South China Sea into a tinderbox, where territorial disputes and power struggles play out against a backdrop of escalating tensions. Diplomatic efforts to resolve these disputes are ongoing, but the path to a peaceful resolution remains fraught with challenges. The stakes are high for all involved. The potential for conflict looms large as nations bolster their military presence and prepare for any eventuality. China, with its growing economic and military might, seeks to assert its dominance and secure its maritime claims. The construction of artificial islands and the deployment of military assets are part of its strategy to establish control over the region. The United States, as a Pacific power, seeks to uphold freedom of navigation and counter what it perceives as Chinese expansionism. Through freedom of navigation operations, the U.S. aims to demonstrate its commitment to maintaining open and accessible sea lanes. Caught in the middle are Southeast Asian nations, including the Philippines, Vietnam, Malaysia, and Brunei. These countries are vying to protect their sovereignty and maritime rights, navigating a complex web of alliances and rivalries. Their efforts to assert their claims and secure their interests add another layer of complexity to the already volatile situation in the South China Sea. At the heart of the South China Sea disputes are competing territorial claims. China asserts sovereignty over virtually the entire sea, demarcated by its controversial 9-dash line. This expansive claim overlaps with the exclusive economic zones, EEZs, of several Southeast Asian countries including the Philippines, Vietnam, Malaysia, and Brunei. These nations contest China's claims, citing international law, particularly the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, UNCLOS. China's historical claims to the region date back centuries, with references to fishing activities and maritime expeditions. However, these claims lack clear geographical delimitation and are often contested by historians and legal experts. The discovery of potential oil and gas reserves in the region in the 20th century further fueled the territorial disputes, with each nation seeking to secure access to these valuable resources. The Philippines, a key U.S. ally in the region, has been particularly vocal in challenging China's claims. The Philippines bases its claims on its proximity to the disputed islands and reefs, particularly in the Spratly Archipelago. The Philippines has sought to assert its sovereignty through various means, including legal challenges, diplomatic protests, and bolstering its military presence in the region. Recent years have witnessed a surge in tensions in the South China Sea, a region that has become a flashpoint for geopolitical rivalry and territorial disputes, with a series of incidents raising concerns about the potential for miscalculation and escalation. The South China Sea has become a focal point for international attention. Chinese Coast Guard vessels have been accused of harassing and intimidating Filipino fishermen, denying them access to traditional fishing grounds. These actions have not only disrupted the livelihoods of local communities, but have also strained diplomatic relations between China and the Philippines. In some instances, water cannons have been used to drive away Filipino boats, highlighting the increasingly assertive posture of Chinese maritime forces. Such aggressive tactics have drawn international condemnation and calls for restraint. Military exercises conducted by both China and the United States in the region have further heightened tensions. These exercises are often seen as a demonstration of military might and a way to assert dominance in the contested waters. These exercises, often involving advanced warships, aircraft, and submarines, are seen as a show of force and a means of projecting military power. The presence of such sophisticated military hardware in close proximity raises the stakes and the risk of unintended confrontations. The frequency and scale of these exercises have raised concerns about the potential for accidents or misinterpretations that could spark a wider conflict. Diplomatic efforts to de-escalate tensions have been ongoing, but the situation remains precarious. The militarization of artificial islands created by China in the Spratly archipelago has also been a major point of contention. These islands, once mere reefs and shoals, have been transformed into strategic military outposts. China has transformed these once submerged features into military outposts, complete with airstrips, radar facilities, and missile batteries. This development has significantly altered the balance of power in the region. This militarization has fundamentally altered the strategic landscape in the South China Sea, giving China greater control over the region and raising concerns about its long-term intentions. Experts warn that this could lead to a new era of military competition and instability in the Asia-Pacific. In response, international naval forces have conducted freedom of navigation operations to challenge China's expansive claims and assert the principle of open seas. These operations are crucial in maintaining the balance of power and ensuring that no single nation can dominate these vital waterways. Regional leaders have also been meeting to discuss ways to manage and resolve the disputes peacefully. Multilateral dialogues and agreements are seen as essential steps towards achieving long-term stability in the South China Sea. Beyond the geopolitical and military implications, the environmental impact of the militarization in the South China Sea cannot be overlooked. The construction of artificial islands and military installations has caused significant damage to coral reefs and marine ecosystems, raising concerns among environmentalists and scientists. The ongoing disputes and militarization have also affected local communities, whose lives and livelihoods are intertwined with the health of the South China Sea. Ensuring their voices are heard in the international discourse is crucial for a comprehensive resolution to the conflicts. Section 4. China's assertiveness, power projection, and strategic ambitions. China's assertive behavior in the South China Sea is driven by a confluence of factors, each contributing to its overarching strategy in the region. These factors include its growing economic and military might, its desire to secure vital resources and shipping lanes, and its determination to reclaim its historical sphere of influence. The South China Sea is a crucial maritime region, rich in natural resources like oil and gas, and serves as a major conduit for global trade. China views the South China Sea as its blue national soil, an integral part of its territory that it is determined to defend. This perspective is deeply rooted in historical claims and national pride, making the region a focal point of Chinese nationalism. Furthermore, China's military modernization program has provided it with the means to project power further afield. Over the past few decades, China has invested heavily in modernizing its military capabilities, transforming its navy into a formidable force. Its rapidly expanding navy, equipped with advanced warships, submarines, and aircraft carriers, is capable of challenging U.S. naval dominance in the Western Pacific. This shift in naval power dynamics has significant implications for regional security and stability. Additionally, China's growing arsenal of ballistic and cruise missiles provides it with the capability to target U.S. bases and assets in the region, further altering the regional balance of power. These missile systems enhance China's ability to deter potential adversaries and assert its strategic interests. China's strategic ambitions in the South China Sea are not limited to securing resources and territory. It also aims to establish itself as the preeminent power in the region, influencing the political and economic landscape to align with its own interests. China also seeks to establish itself as the dominant power in the region, shaping the regional order according to its own interests and worldview. This involves leveraging diplomatic, economic, and military tools to build alliances and exert influence over neighboring countries. The Belt and Road Initiative, China's massive infrastructure development program, aims to connect China to Southeast Asia, Europe, and beyond, further enhancing its economic and geopolitical influence. Through this initiative, China is investing in infrastructure projects such as ports, railways, and highways, which not only boost trade but also strengthen its strategic foothold in various regions. By establishing naval bases and outposts in the South China Sea, China is solidifying its presence and ensuring it can project power and protect its interests in this critical region. These bases serve as strategic points for military operations and surveillance, enhancing China's ability to control the maritime domain. In addition to military and diplomatic efforts, China is also focusing on economic integration with neighboring countries. By developing economic zones and industrial parks, China aims to create interdependencies that bind these countries closer to its economic orbit, thereby increasing its influence and control over the region. Control over the South China Sea also means control over one of the world's busiest shipping lanes. By asserting dominance in this area, China can ensure the security of its trade routes and exert pressure on other nations that rely on these critical maritime pathways for their economic activities. China's ambitions are further supported by its advancements in technology and innovation. By leading in areas such as artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, and space exploration, China is positioning itself as a global leader, capable of shaping the future of international relations and global governance. Finally, China's soft power initiatives, including cultural and educational exchanges, are designed to build a positive image and foster goodwill among other nations. These efforts complement its hard power strategies, creating a comprehensive approach to achieving its strategic ambitions in the South China Sea and beyond. Section 5. The Philippines Perspective: Balancing Sovereignty and Economic Ties. The Philippines, situated on the front lines of the South China Sea disputes, faces a delicate balancing act. On one hand, the Philippines is determined to defend its sovereignty and maritime rights against Chinese encroachment. The Philippines has a long history of resisting foreign domination, and its people are fiercely protective of their independence. On the other hand, the Philippines is economically intertwined with China. China is the Philippines' largest trading partner, and Chinese investments play a significant role in the Philippine economy. The Philippines also relies on China for tourism, infrastructure development, and access to its vast market. This complex web of economic and geopolitical interests presents the Philippines with a difficult dilemma. The Philippines must balance its desire to counter Chinese assertiveness with its need to maintain strong economic ties with its powerful neighbor. The Philippines has sought to navigate this complex landscape by strengthening its alliance with the United States, seeking support from other regional powers, and engaging in diplomatic efforts to resolve the disputes peacefully.